Hi, Great Grizzlies. It's been so fun seeing you guys at our lunch groups. I'm really glad those of you who have joined us have been able to join our Zoom calls during lunch hangouts. I'm Miss Allie, and I'm here with the rest of our crew.
Hi, Grand Grizzlies. Good to see you all here.
And I'm Mr. V. Good to see you guys back. I know I've seen a lot of you at lunch, just like Miss Allie said. Hope everybody's doing well.
All right, we're going to talk about toolbox tools again today. If you remember, we have already learned two different tools. We talked about the breathing tool, which is where you calm yourself and check in and use like a measuring tape for the hand motion. And we also talked about the garbage can tool, which is where you're letting the little things go. So today we're going to introduce a new tool to you. This one is called the Quiet Safe Place tool. What that looks like is putting your hands over your ears and leaning forward a little bit. So it's the Quiet Safe Place tool. And the Quiet Safe Place tool is a special tool because it helps us remember there is always my quiet, safe place for me. So quietness is something that can give us strength. When we have a place, it doesn't actually have to be a real place. It can be an imagined place, and we'll talk more about how we can do that. It can give us safety. It can be a place for quiet, for calm, creativity, imagination, and all of those things can come together when we feel safe in a quiet, safe place. Sometimes you have something like that physically. Maybe it's a place in your actual house, but sometimes we can get there with our hearts and our minds by using our imagination.
Like we were talking about, your special place can be imaginary or a real place, but some questions you need to ask maybe are, how can this special place be a safe place? Miss Allie or Miss Lucy, how can a special place be a safe place? How can your imaginary or real place be a safe place?
Well, as I'm thinking for me, I think my imaginary safe place can be a safe place because I can take myself there anytime that I want because it's in my imagination. For example, my favorite imaginary place or safe place is the beach. So I know I can always safely take myself to the beach in my mind.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. And what's funny, Miss Lucy, is the beach is one of my favorite places to be too. So that would probably be my quiet, safe place as well.
Another question you might ask about your safe place is, what do you think you could use as an imaginary, quiet, safe place? So there's going to be a lot of options. I know Miss Allie and Miss Lucy mentioned the beach, so they kind of already answered this question. But you got to find out what works for you or what feels the best to you. So everybody's safe places may be different. They may be the same. You may even change it sometimes. You may have a lot of different safe places and you go where you want to go. What do you think, guys? Can you have a lot of different safe places?
Yeah, I also think it doesn't have to just be a physical place. A quiet, safe place can even be imagining a person that helps you feel quiet or safe with you. I know sometimes when we need to get to our quiet, safe place, what can help us is picturing someone who's a safe adult for us. Maybe they're not able to be with us in that moment, but you can imagine yourself with that safe adult for you. Maybe you imagine having someone give you a hug because hugs are very comforting and would be really nice when you're needing that quiet, safe place. So sometimes a quiet, safe space can be imagining a place, but sometimes it can also be imagining a person with you.
And also the question Mr. V asked is, when are times that it would be nice to have that quiet and safe place to go to? As I was thinking about that, you know, some days are harder than others, especially now with distance learning. I know most of us are struggling with some things. So I know when I get frustrated, when I can't figure out how to get into a meeting, how to do things, you know, it's a good time to remove myself from what I'm doing and imagining that place just for a few moments.
Miss Allie, you didn't get a chance to answer the when are times. What zones maybe would you be feeling, or what zones might you be in when you might need a safe place? Do you think you need it in the green zone, or like when do you need it? When are those times?
It's a good question. I think the green zone, if you guys remember our zones, green zone is when we're at the point where we're calm, we're ready to learn, we're happy. So I don't think we'd need to use the quiet safe place tool when we're in those zones, because you're not needing to feeling calm, which is the goal of the quiet safe place, is to bring that calm and to bring peace to ourselves and to feel safe again. When we would need it might be sometimes in the blue zone if you're feeling very sad. I think that's a good time to use your quiet safe place tool. I know I feel sad pretty often with being home and not being able to see my friends, not being able to see students. I miss getting to work with Mr. V and Miss Lucy every day. So I feel sad, and it helps me if I think about my quiet, safe place to remember that this isn't going to be forever and we will get to be together again. Another time I think is if you're in the yellow zone, maybe you're feeling scared, maybe you're worried, maybe you're anxious. Those are all good times that you could use your quiet, safe place tool to access that safety, even if you can't feel safe entirely with your surroundings. You can find your quiet, safe place and have that inner safety. Does that make sense when I'm talking about coming into yourself?
I think so. I think it's again, like we talked about in the zones, recognizing a feeling and realizing you need that tool. So it can be, I think it can be even as small as maybe someone else is in one of those zones and it's causing you some anxiety or to feel like annoyed, or maybe you're at home and your brother or sister is like really like bothering you or something like that, and you just need a break. Sometimes it can be as small as that. Sometimes I need a little break too. I just want to calm for a second, and I want to be able to slow down for a minute, and then I can come back and be ready to go again.
So true. And as you Grizzlies are listening, we also have things going on, and we use these tools to help us. And what does it feel like when you are in that quiet, safe place in your imagination? For example, for me, I like to imagine the air, the breeze, or sometimes the sun hitting my skin. And if you really concentrate, you might actually feel a little warm. So for me, it feels very peaceful. It feels warm and breezy. And you can have any feeling in that imagination. You can make it feel however you need to make it feel. What does yours feel like, guys?
I was going to say, when you're talking about that feeling, that's super important to understanding quiet, safe spaces. You can have that feeling without actually feeling something. Miss Lucy talked about feeling the warmth from the sun. You can feel the comfort of a hug without having someone with you to give you a hug.
Where I usually like to go, I kind of like nothingness, honestly. I like to be able to close my eyes for a minute and it just be dark and no thoughts, like really nothing. Because that just, to me, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not having to think about a place. I'm not thinking about anything. I just like to shut it all off for a minute. So I don't really think about anything. I like it to just be quiet, dark, and nothing.
I like that one, Mr. V. I think I might try it too, because sometimes, that's all we need. Quiet and dark. And for example, the other question that is asking us is, what images do you see in your imagination when you think of your quiet and safe place? Well, Mr. B said he just likes quiet and nothing. But for me, as I was talking about the beach, honestly, when I go to that place, I do imagine the sun. So I can see the sun, I can see palm trees, I can see water and people and sand. So think about that. If you actually go somewhere in your imagination.
When you are talking about a quiet, safe place, is no matter where it is, what you see, what you're doing, if you're in a physical place or imaginary, it's like the main goal is to block out everything else at the time until you are able to feel like you're back at a level or a baseline or a green zone. The idea is to get away from whatever's bothering you without actually sometimes having to get away. So again, you don't have to physically leave, but you're able to sometimes escape just right there. You know I've taken pauses like that when I'm taking a test at school. There's times that I just need to close my eyes for a second, relax, and drop frustration and move on. And so it doesn't take very long sometimes. And then there's other times you're super, super upset and you may need a little time to work through and get back. There's no right or wrong. That's the cool thing about all the zones and the tools. You can't do it wrong.
This is especially helpful right now when we're staying home and we're not going places because of the coronavirus. So, maybe your quiet, safe place is even thinking about and remembering being at school together with your friends, with teachers and staff. Sometimes what helps me get through this hard time being away from each other is thinking about what it'll be like when we do get to be together again.
I like that, Miss Ellie. So as you see, just imagine a safe place or imagine doing something in the future. And I also really, really love that Mr. V said it could take 30 seconds. Depending on what you need, use the time you need.
So I'm going to go ahead and do a discovery activity with us, an imagination practice. I'm going to walk you through what it looks like to create your safe place, your quiet, safe place. Maybe you already know what that looks like. Maybe you'd like some help thinking about how you can do that. So I'm going to do that with us. To start, I'm going to ask everybody to take 3 good belly breaths, okay? So I'm going to count those. I'm going to count for 3 seconds for each breath. If you need to do longer or shorter, that's okay. I'm going to put one hand on my stomach because it helps me feel my belly breaths. So go ahead and breathe with me. I'm going to breathe in. Breathe out. Another, I'm going to breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, I hope that you feel comfortable now. While we're comfortable, I want you to let your body relax. You can look at something close to you, something that you don't have to think about while you're looking at it. Now, I want you to try to imagine a quiet, safe place. This could be someplace that's real. Maybe it's somewhere in your house or your apartment. Maybe it's back in your classroom at school, or maybe it's somewhere outside. It could be a place in your imagination. It could be something that's completely made up. Whatever it is that's peaceful and beautiful for you is what's most important. It could be a place on a cloud that's warm and soft and safe. Just let yourself relax and picture a place that is comfortable and cozy, that is safe and peaceful. So while you're picturing that, I want you to think about, what do you see as you look around? What colors do you see? Are there flowers? Are there trees? Are there animals? Are there other people in your quiet, safe place? Are there walls? Are there floors? Do you see water or sky? Just look around at the picture you have in your mind and notice what you see around you. What does it feel like to be in your quiet, safe place? Is the wind blowing gently on you? Do you feel warm or cool? Notice how your body feels. Are your arms and legs relaxed? Is your neck nice and loose? Does it feel tight? You can change the temperature. Notice how your body feels while you're in your quiet, safe place so that you feel comfortable while you're there. What sounds can you hear? Do you hear birds singing? Do you hear the wind or some waves? Do you hear the voices of other people that are special to you? Is there music or silence? Think of what you could hear in your mind in your quiet, safe place. Do you smell in your quiet, safe place? Maybe you can imagine the smell of the ocean or the smell of the rain. Maybe it's the smell of your pillow or your cat. Maybe your favorite flowers or something special that you like to eat. Take a minute and think about what kind of wonderful smells you like in your quiet, safe place. While you guys are thinking about those things, I'm going to take another deep belly breath. Breathe out. So remember, your quiet, safe place is something that you can go to in your imagination anytime you need it. You can use your quiet, safe space for 30 seconds or 30 minutes if you have the time. Just use it for when you need it. And the activity that we're going to ask you guys to do this week on your own time is draw a picture, get a blank piece of paper, and try to draw what you would think of for your quiet, safe place. If you want to share it with somebody in your home, you can. If you'd like to share it with us, you can. Just let us know what you picture when you have your quiet, safe place, and keep that picture close by so you can remember it whenever you need to get to your quiet, safe place.
Yes, I would love to see those pictures in our lunch hangouts. Don't forget they're live and you can share anything you want with us during those times.
All right, guys. It's good to see you guys, and we'll connect again soon. Have a great week. Join us for lunch hangouts. We look forward to seeing you.